the next speaker we have is a special person, I guess. And I would let Aarati introduce that person while I go get the slides for him. Please.
Folks, very good evening to you. It's probably the last but not the least of the sessions. We have amongst us Dhiren Kumar Dubey. He is the CEO from the Management Institute, and I think welcome. Having a nano park, where we mentored the design of the nano park in all our Tata. So that's great. He's been in the industry since 1995 to transform lean initiatives, and is very passionate about sharing awareness on what is lean, because lean is existing from the ages, but it has been very well applied in non-software areas, and now he's passionate about driving it for the software areas. So we come out with a series of workshops and exercises to help align that. Today we will have an icebreaker session which is called as a demystifying lean for software agility, and that's about the thing. I think I don't stand.
Thanks, sir. Am I audible? Yes. Fine.
Thank you.
So, we are going to discuss something about technical issues in the
Yeah, sure. Let me check the.
Okay, friends. Good afternoon to all of you. Do I have the?
Yes, we have a
Okay, I know all of you. I know all of you are good listeners for next 30 minutes. Okay, and after that you will ask good questions. Okay, that's fine. So that's why I will take privilege of introducing myself. I did mechanical engineering in 85 and then went into factory Bharat Electronics Limited for working, making radars and satellite communication systems. And from 95 onward I have been into consulting in the diversified fields. I had come across Jim Brahma, who is father of Lean, who has started Lean culture by publication of his book in 1991 first time. And my mentor has been one of what we do is we try to do original creation of simple, understandable and something doable. Okay? And that's all about Lean. So today I thought of sharing with you what we understand. How do we deploy our this promotion of Lean thinking across the world? Hello? Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. We try to learn, then we try to educate, and we try to share with all the people. So some learning we are sharing over here, and these are the activities that we do to share. This is brief understanding about Lean. Definition you can say, but not a classical definition. I'll say understanding of Lean. So Lean is more to do with the systematic development of people. Correct?
System. I think somebody was blocking.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess it's
I guess I was standing in between.
Hello. Yeah. So Lean is first how you systematically develop your people. Whatever they do. That's first essential thing. Development for what? How each one can improve their piece of work. Okay? And processes to which they belong. I think just now we had what we say play the process together. That is what is, and how each of them improve their processes and activities on a daily basis. Okay? How improve their work and processes. And improvement for what is how to create better value for the customers. And give prosperity to company. How the prosperity to the company is created is by driving out the waste from the system. What we say is, develop your top line by giving better value to the customer. Improve your bottom line by driving out waste from the system. And that's what business is. Okay? And in that, how do we play our roles correctly together? Now I will upon this further with more visuals. Now the question is why this is important? This is very important because this is a graph showing the history of life span of the companies in US offshore. Study has been done and you can see somewhere around 1960 the average life span of the company used to be around 60 years. And now it is around 17-18 years, which is projected to go further down. What it says is, a company is born and dies, average life is 60 years, 17 years. Okay? You can see a lot of IT companies coming into it. And contrary to this, what is happening to human life is it's going up. Imagine you join a company, after 15 years you die, and you have got 80 years to live. Okay? So that's a paradox which we are remedying, and that's why it's very important to correct. Many of you will live beyond 100 years, whether you believe or not, because life expectancy is going up exponentially, not linearly. Okay? So prepare yourself for this year. Okay, you note it down. Maybe after 80 years we'll meet and talk. Okay. Now I will request just 1 or 2 videos to be run. Just to make the fundamentals more clear. This is about process improvement which has been there for the last 100 years. By Frederick Taylor, how to improve your work. How much time it took to hold the picture? Okay, whatever it is. So this is what concept of lean people have. Things are faster, better, output quality is good, right? And how to improve the mundane work like t-shirt folding also. Normally many of you, all of you use t-shirts and you might have folded, right? So there can be a better method of folding t-shirt also. Means there can be always a better method of doing everything. And that's what lean is, how do we improve it on a daily basis. Okay? As we work, we learn and we improve. Now can I request for the next? So this is Chinese. If you have understood Japanese, then certainly Chinese also.
提前进入车顶的周转车厢。旅客们，北京开往广州方向的1684高速不停站火车马上就要通过本站，请前往广州方向各站的旅客提前进入站台的周转车厢。 大家按先后次序下车，下次旅行再见。
So train doesn't have to stop. Okay? People can get in, get out of the train, and train can keep running.
提前进入车。
If that can happen, from here to Delhi, you can reach in 6 hours if we have the train in place. Right? And flights will become redundant. Going to airport from here will be say 9 6. And you can reach to Delhi next time. 500 kilometer average speed is of the maglev train in China, Japan, France. So 3000 kilometers from here to Delhi, 6 hours you will be.
So did you understand what she said?
No, not this. That's why the videos are better to understand in English. Yeah. There is an announcement on this. The train has come and train has come. This is also ladies how to think different. Dramatically different. Innovation, not the routine. The first one has been there for 100 years. 1911, Frederick Taylor came out with the work motion studies and all these things. From then, people are doing work. And second one is how do we think it differently and do things much better. And that is how technology and all these things have come. And we are growing faster and faster. So I will just take you to this, why I am saying this is deep. This is the three things that we do at all levels. There are different levels, top management, middle level and front line who add value. And we all do. Hello? Yeah. So we all are working, trying to solve problems to reach to the desired base level of performance which is mandated. Right? Is that right? All of us trying to achieve our performance, attain our performance. Responsibility to do that is more at the lower level, where the value addition happens. Responsibility for this is lower as you grow in the hierarchy. At the top, you are supposed to be doing less of it. That's how the organizations are formed. What is the next work that we do is, we try to solve problems to remove barriers so that we can raise the performance level from current to the next level. For the t-shirt example that we saw, t-shirt folding is a process going on. Somebody came out with a better process so that more efficiently and faster things can be done. Cost per t-shirt for folding will go down. Right? Quality of t-shirt folded will be better and customer would like it from the better than company. That's again the responsibility lies at all three levels. But here the responsibility at lower level is lower and as we grow in hierarchy it is more. The third thing we try to do is a bold new initiative, new way of attaining new aims. That's like train example. Thinking very differently, very dramatically different, and innovatively doing something which competitors don't know and they follow. Is that right? All the organization do these three things. Only the mix of amount of time that is devoted is very, very different. Normally what is said is, this level person does this level job and this level person does this level job. Okay? So that needs to be corrected and checked. Now how to do this? The route for doing this is hidden in this routine work. As you can do this better, you can do this better. If you don't know this, you cannot do this. Is that true or not? Without knowing the work, how can you do? And as you do improvement, then only the innovation flows. These are again interrelated. They are not isolated. So engine that drives all these things is nothing but a PDCA cycle, planned good check attack, which you might have heard about it. This was given by Dr. Devine in 1950s. He lectured in Japan and they translated, and then this PDCA cycle came. And this PDCA cycle runs better if we grasp the situation better. If you don't grasp the situation, you cannot run the improvement. Isn't it? If you don't know the current reality, can't improve. So engine that drives lean at all levels is this PDCA cycle. We need to understand. A lot of people think that they understand, but still a lot of research is going on because we don't understand. And this is our addition, that grasping the situation is one thing which is done badly, and that's why we do it good. I'll come to this later. What we want is, we want highly motivated people and very high sustained performance in organization. At every organization, every people. To do this, we have to run this PDCA cycle at a business level. How do we motivate people and how do we make them work better and how they sustain their performance and improve. Then we do it at value stream level where the value addition is taking place. Let's say your customer requirement to customer delivery. Right? That's how the product flows, value flows. So value stream level, there are many. Let's say you can say developer, designer, and tester, no. Then we have our individual and teams working, and they should be improving. And all these things should happen in a very systematic fashion. All these things should happen aligned to the key company goals. For that key company goal should be driven down so that every level we can align with. Okay? And then the value addition flows from this individual contribution so that it is going to the business achievement. And for all these things, very, very important thing is we need lean leadership at all. I'll talk about this leadership. And this is nothing to do with the senior or junior, every level. What happens is this lean leadership drives the motivation and that drives the sustained high level of performance. Now these are the 2-3 types of leadership that has been evolved in the past. One was driven by Hitler, digital style. He was also a great leader, took Germany to right, conquered Holland in 3 days, right? Lot of achievement. Say, follow me. Do what I say. Don't question. And somewhere in 70s, a new leadership style was evolved. By leadership was by General Motors, and a lot of management gurus have participated in this. That is empowerment. Here's the target. You are fully empowered. You have to achieve the target. Whatever way you can. The problem is yours. Okay? And the biggest propounder of this was of late Jackson, who said, beat the deadline or write date on the line. Used to give targets. So either you meet or beat the deadline. The saying was, beat the deadline or write date on the line. That was, target is set, how to achieve is your problem, but I want it. And this has been utter failure. But unfortunately, a lot of business schools are still teaching that, so that is there around the globe. But simultaneously, around 70s, a new leadership style started, which was at Toyota. A lot of research started in Toyota, what is that, why they are unique. And Toyota has grown to number 1 now, and all the research has been done by MIT, from where this lean concept has been done. And that is very, very different. What it says is, follow me, we will figure it out together with the goals and targets, but not the way you want. We will together try to achieve. Okay? So it is not how I make you to work, but how we work together. And that's very different. That's very different. And that is like climbing on leader is there, he sees the people are falling behind, so he gives the rope and then helps them out. So what he is doing, three things together. He is climbing, the team is climbing, they are learning, they are finding difficult, and they are solving that together and then scale the height. That is what we have to do in our daily life and in the organization. Okay, it's not an individual, it's all together. How do we keep working, learning, improving to achieve our goals? That is the new leadership style, and this is what is more important. Other two have failed, this is the leader. But still, this leadership is there. So again, coming to PDCA, leadership has to rise this PDCA. And core is grasp the situation, right? Where do we grasp the situation? Go to the workplace and see. ATM, just now we are talking about ATM, right? How many of you have really used ATM? Or? Is that right? All of you might have used ATM. Yes. So, you are going to the place and see. But all will not encounter all the problems, is it? But if we gather this much problem, we will cover 90% of the ATM. Is that right? So that is what is GEPA. In any other scenario, you have to do GEPA. Go to the workplace and see. Right? Do not sit in a data analysis room and do data crunching. That will never give you a real scenario. Unfortunately, we have been mastering it. Understand? Data are past. Many things would have changed. So last year data is no relevant. What happened last year, after last 1 year, we have grown so much change. Our process is different. People are different. And we are looking to data 1 year back, which process was different and people were different. And then trying to predict the future. Is that right? And human has no capability to predict the future. Chances of prediction is 50%. Whatever you say will become right or wrong, right? So chance is 50%. So 10 times you tell something, 4 or 5 things will be right. You will say I have done right. But understand, 5 things will go wrong. Okay? So no prediction, no past. Everything is correct. And current is what you need to change. And for that, data is very, very important. Then other thing is assumption, like 12 star, 12-point star, right? That is what goes there. All of you have developed some star. Is that right? Yes. So we are all culprit of jumping to conclusions without understanding the conclusion. Is that right? So any problem is there, we just jump and give solution. Is that true? We just practice that. The last session. And we say, okay, this is what is the final answer. Our aim is not to do this. So we have to constrain our people not to jump to solution. So what do we do? First we understand what it is. Better understanding of the problem. Then say what is the real issue and what we are talking about, the real problem. All problems are next sum of many problems. Is that right? Defect. Defect can be because of our testing. Defect can be because we did not follow checklist. Is that right? Defect was that test case was not comprehensive enough. Defect was review was not done. Reviewer escape, many things. So what are the quantum of each, and each one will have a different cost. So break down the problem into smaller pieces, it is much easier to solve. Then you go to the point of cause where it happens. Find out the root cause. There is a method by analysis. Many other tools are there. Then you take the countermeasure. Evaluate those countermeasures. Some will work, some may not. And then you reach to solutions which you must standardize. And what is the role of standards in defect in your industry? What is the role of standard in creating or not creating defect in your industry? So, we did one analysis of delivered defect density in some company. And when we broke down to many small pieces, what is the biggest cause which led to delivered defect density going high? Was checklist not followed. The biggest contributor to that was checklist not followed. Okay? Checklist is what? Standard, but everybody must follow. You are free to change it, but you are not free to escape it. Is that right? It may be reason for people not following you if you find out and correct. Is that okay? So, standardize. Because if standards are not there, you cannot improve. Because you don't know where you are performing. Is that true or not? This is all planning. This is very small component of execution. More planning. Then you must check. Now we will do that. And then we must act. Better you do the plan, this will happen faster. The only way don't do planning. And we keep on doing, keep on reverting. Right? Next iteration. So this is what is the lean model. EDC. Okay. Now lean also says don't try to disturb the main process. This is what we are normally focused upon. Value addition. Normally in process the value addition time is hardly 5 seconds. Software process will be lower. Okay. Non-value added portion is roughly 65%. And then third is incidental, which is important for value addition. Let's say you have to boot up your computer to start working. Booting is a non-value adding, but without that you can't start working. So that's essential. Right? Now what has happened is, we have been busy in optimizing this 5% and trying to do a great thing. The treasure don't lie there. Where it lies is somewhere else. Traditionally, focus has been always here. Lean says focus here. And maybe after that here. You can change the process manifold improvement. Very little effort. So, these are three activities that we talked about: value creation, waste and incidental. Waste is my first focus in lean. There is nothing but stocking in pure from Q inventory. Overproduction, overprocessing, checking, reviewing again and again. Overprocessing. Defects, bigger one is the center. Waiting for decision, waiting for information, waiting for clarification, waiting for input. Motion. Lot of human going here and there. Movement. Files going here and there. So because in the telecom India, so don't feel the pinch. If you have to walk down, then it's a problem. Okay. These are the 7 types of waste that is normally in the process, and they are in all types of process. Nothing to do with the software, nothing to do with the hardware, nothing to do with Japan, nothing to do with India or Europe. they are purely universal and they are found everywhere. And they can be identified and eliminated. Let's say this is one value stream that we have for company which was processing mortgage loan. Loan disbursement was happening in New Zealand and Australia. The team sitting in Bangalore doing the processing. We have their processes and this is how the work happens. So see here the index. Percentage complete and accurate is 76.5%. Means roughly 24% is delivered in the system. I'm not talking after this is over. This is in the process. Total lead time from there to this end is 7.8 days and real value adding time is 197 minutes.
Okay.
So if you take percentage of this, how much percent it will come?
One thing.
Much lower than 1%.
How much time are you dedicating to quiz?
I give 5%. That was on the upper side.
It's a good idea to discuss the quiz answers.
Take this process.
But now,
This is one of the good process.
okay, then just
So at any time there is an improvement opportunity for us. Now the management task is how do we align our purpose, process and people so that these waste are reduced and eliminated. The waste are reduced and they are eliminated. How do we do that? The problem is sometimes we become too social, focusing on more on people, relationships, teamwork, right? And at times we become very technical, process, followed or not, just followed or not. Even both are extremes and both are not. What we need to do is, we need to balance this process and people, social and technical, to the purpose that we want to achieve. And that's what is the real leadership or management job is. Now management doesn't mean top management. Your team, there is a leader. You are doing tasks, you are managing your work. Everywhere this applies. What we have to do is a social and technical balance to achieve the purpose. Purpose should be clear. And how do we make it clear that how much technical and social balancing should be done so that we hit the target perfectly. If we do more, it's a waste. If we do less, it will result in. I'll explain you this with a small example again from car because I can explain it better. Let's say on a conveyor, this car is running, assembly is going on. At working station 3, it will travel from in 60 seconds from here to here. That is why processes are designed. Every car company will not produce one car every 60 minutes. 60 seconds, 1 minute. Right. So, car coming out of any company is every minute a car comes. What happens is there is a worker who is working and he will have 10-15 work to do in this 60 seconds. He is given a call. When he knows that he is not able to perform good, his defect will get generated. First, he should have the ability to know that there is defect that can be generated. My work is not done. Number one, social. Second, he has given an aid to give a signal that I am not able to perform, can somebody help? So there is a buzzer that goes and a light goes, which tells the leader that at station number 3 there is an issue. Now leader should come rushing. And together, worker and leader will try to solve this problem. If they are not able to, line will not stop. If they are not able to solve the problem in 60 seconds, then the leader will not pull the cord again and line will stop and all people will become idle. Okay? Now this is a social and technical balance that is created. Problem, understanding by the person giving a signal, somebody coming to help, together they are able to solve. If not, line will stop because defects cannot be given to the next person who is the customer. Principle is no passing of defects to any level, going. Is that right? Now this is a total social and technical balance. Not people visit Toyota, they copy the artifact, but after 1 year Because technical you can copy, the social you cannot copy. It has to be created within your system. So Lean says don't copy, do not copy. So we come to Lean House. This says what is our purpose, what we want to solve, how to improve the work, how to develop people so that they can do the work to achieve that purpose, what are the basic assumptions and thinking, and how is the leadership behaving. All these five together makes a complete thing. And they should be in a proper balance. Four essential things. Set alignment around the purpose, Roshni. Concept is Roshni. Design and support processes that provide value to the customer, value stream. Develop people so that they can perform this PDCA better and better. Grasping the situation is a concept called ethic management. And then create the environment for effective problem solving. All leaders should behave as a coach. If the company can do this, they are very important. And this is how it works. We are here. We do take PDCA cycle to reach to higher level. On the way we will have discovered causes. There will be constraints, there will be barriers, and we have to overcome all these things to move from current condition to a better condition. And then the journey goes into next condition. This is what is the